Again, my name is Amanda Hirschberg, and I am the lead health coach for Monj. Today, we get to whip up a super simple and delicious bootable lunch. It's a flavorful meal that you can find in the MonjWell program, offered at no charge for those of you with Blue Shield. Today, we're going to be using about a cup of greens for the base of our bowl, or you could choose to use some vegetables like cauliflower rice or even zucchini noodles. Next comes the veggies. You could use any combination of raw or roasted vegetables, such as leafy greens or lettuces, even broccoli, cauliflower, sprouts, asparagus, carrots, cucumbers, zucchini, corn, tomatoes, squash. Gosh, almost anything goes here. Then you'll be adding on a little bit of protein. Any cooked meat that you have left over in the fridge actually works great. Some options would include chicken, beef, lamb, fish, even meatballs. And of course, tofu or chickpeas are also a great option. And to bring it all together, we're going to be making a delicious Monj dressing that uses about a half a cup of yogurt, some lemon or lime, fresh or dried herbs, salt and pepper. And you can also use some olive oil or vinegar to make a dressing that tastes delicious as well. And to top it all off, we can add a little crunch with your favorite nuts or seeds. Even pickles or kimchi would work well here. And I think Eliza might even have some homemade kraut for the top of hers. Fresh herbs, chives, green onions, avocado, flavored oils. So lots and lots of options. Great. Our time together today is for about 40 minutes. First, we'll be meeting Chopped Champion, Chef Eliza Martin, and head coach of Culinary Artistas, who will show us how to create a simple lunch packed with the big flavors Monj is known for. We'll talk about the amazing benefits of some of the ingredients, like reducing anxiety, giving you more energy, or reducing inflammation so you can feel better. That will take about 15 minutes. After that, we'll be talking about MonjWell for those who have 15 or more pounds to lose. Stick around with us because the second half, you'll be learning about the MonjWell program and see if it's a right fit for you. So without further ado, let me leave you in the capable hands of Chopped Champion, Chef Eliza.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Welcome to my kitchen, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. As Amanda was speaking, the sun finally peeked out, so it feels like a nice homage for our Friday together. Thank you guys so much for doing a kind thing for yourself and eating well. What we're going to start with for the very beginning of our class is going to go over our mise en place. In culinary terms, that just means things in their place. I'm going to just revisit all those ingredients that Amanda went over, and then we'll get right into cooking. If you have these things available, I'm going to note some of the things you can substitute. So we've got 1 cup of grains. I'm going to use quinoa today. If you have farro or brown rice or really anything at all, you could use zoodles or rice cauliflower. All those are perfect options for the base of our Buddha bowl. After that, we're going to be chopping up some fresh veg. I'm going to show you broccoli and bell peppers and sweet corn. If you have something else you'd like to add in, please go for it. This is our opportunity to clean out that pantry, which I know has needed a little love over the past couple months. So let's do that together. If you've got zucchini or carrots or celery or any roasted veggie, all that's perfect. After that, we're going to dice up some of our protein. I'm going to use a roasted chicken breast today. Use whatever you have, tofu or that leftover steak you didn't know what to do with. All of it's wonderful here. I'm going to use some crunchies on top. So I've got my seeds ready to go. And I make my own homemade sauerkraut probiotic boost. So we're going to go over all of that together. And I also have a sauce I'll be making. And that's what Amanda mentioned. We're going to create a yogurt sauce today. We're going to use half a cup of yogurt, a citrus of your choice, 2 tablespoons of a fresh herb, and call it a day. If that's all that you need to gather up, then you can go ahead and get started with me now. If you have a bowl ready to go, we're going to start building our salad in just a moment, our beautiful Buddha bowl. But first, I want to start with some knife skills. I think it's really, really helpful to be really confident in the kitchen when you're using a knife. So let's start with how to hold a knife. What we use is something called the pinch grip. That's called the okay sign, that goes in front of the blade's bolster handle. It rests really close to the blade, so you have a strong fulcrum here to pivot on. The rest of your fingers fall comfortably around like you're holding onto a hammer. That engages our whole arm, shoulder to fingertip. Now we're going to use a claw to hold on to whatever else it is that we're chopping. I'm going to start with my favorite veggie to show you a little bit more about this. My broccoli. Now broccoli is pretty amazing in roasted or sauteed form, but I actually really like it raw, so we're going to use it that way today. I'm going to insert the tip of my knife and just go around a circle at the crown of the broccoli here. But don't throw away that stalk. Hold on to that. You'll see why in a moment. Any floret that's not going to be quite big enough to, or too big to fit into your mouth, use the bridge and slice it in half so you can make smaller pieces. If you want, you can steam this really, really quickly. If you prefer for it to be a little more vibrant, you get the most bang for your buck nutrient-wise if you keep it raw, but I totally understand the flavor appeal when you roast it. It's delicious. Now I'll tell you another secret. Broccoli actually has more fiber in the stalk than it does in the florets, or these little pretty green parts we're so used to eating. So I love broccoli because it looks gorgeous when it's in these little bouquets, but it also is super powerful in the nutrients it has. So if you give that little stalk a peel, you can actually dice this right up too. You could even save the stalk and throw it in a smoothie if you want to. The fiber in here is incredible. It actually helps you stay a little fuller for a lot longer, which is always a win in my book. I constantly find myself hungry, so I like to eat foods that keep me satiated for a long time. Once you've got that peeled, you can toss your shavings in a little compost pile or bowl. And I'll show you quickly how to dice up that stalk or stem. If it's too big for your knife to really handle in one go, cut it in half. Then you can make, using the bridge, a flat surface. So slice it in half one more time so you have a nice flat edge to work with. Now you can, keeping that flat side down, use your claw to slice long, thin batons. Those are just like wedges. Once you've got those wedges, turn 90 degrees and you can simply dice. Beautiful. It might be a little trickier for your knife to get through, again, because of that fiber. It's super dense and nutrient rich. Love it. Option here to go ahead and give it a quick saute, or just throw it in raw. The next thing I'm gonna dice up for you is gonna be our sweet corn. Sweet corn is one of my favorite summertime vegetables. I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, so all we had to eat was corn. It's one of my favorite vegetables. And it's not super high in nutrients, but it is starchy. So it does kind of trick you into feeling a fuller for longer. And I love it because it's sweet. Raw sweet corn is one of my favorite snacks, but if you toss it on a gas stove and give it a little char, delish. Let me show you how to take this apart quickly. I'm gonna balance the cob on my cutting board. And again, using my pinch grip, I'm just gonna slice halfway down my corn cob, bracing it up against that cob. Just pull those kernels off. Now, as you might have guessed, and I'm already trying to demonstrate, I don't like to waste anything in the kitchen. So every part of the food gets used when I can. The corn cob is one of my favorite tricks to making a really hearty broth. So if you boil these corn cobs in water or stock, if you're making that yourself at home, the starch releases into the water and makes it a little bit creamier and thicker and gives it that really yummy sweet flavor that sweet corn is known for. Don't throw that away. That's liquid gold. Now I'm gonna put that corn in my veggie bowl here. I'm collecting all of my vegetables together so I can add them to my beautiful Buddha bowl in just a few minutes. So you can see I'm already starting to build a rainbow here. Let's keep it coming. The next ingredient I'm gonna use is gonna be a beautiful sweet bell pepper. Now, bell peppers come in lots of shapes, lots of colors. The greener they are, the younger they are. So the yellow one is like a middle-ager. The redder they are, that means they're older. Woo! I'm trying to dance. And they're a little bit sweeter. So that's why I like to use the red bell pepper for this Buddha bowl. It adds a lot of crunch and it's super, super sweet. The longer it hangs on the vine, the richer the sugar gets. That's why it turns that red color. I'm gonna show you a fun way to take apart a pepper. If you've never seen this before, hold on to your hats. Go ahead and slice off that very top edge. So wherever that stem is, using that claw we talked about, hold on to your bell pepper, and just about 1/4 to 1/2 inch down under the stem, slice that off. A little flower will fall away. We'll put that off to the side. Then you have these little feet on the bottom. Using your knife the same way again, we're gonna brace the bell pepper about 1/4 inch down, slice off another little flower. Keep that off to the side. Now insert your knife using that little ridge to follow. We're gonna insert our knife. You should be able to see through your bell pepper and slice all the way around, unfolding it like it's a little book you're opening up. That helps to collect all of those little seeds in a packet for you. And that goes right in your compost. The white part is called the pith. It's a little bit bitter, so we try to get rid of that when we're cooking. Now the skin is super slippy and a little difficult for your knife to get through. So skin side down on the board, you can slice your bell pepper in thirds or in halves, and then just stack them up. Now we can slice and dice these really, really easily. I can slice my bell pepper again, skin side down, so that I get long wedges or batons, and then I can turn them on their head and give them a dice. Now, bell peppers are amazing. They actually have more vitamin C than oranges do, which is also why that high acidity makes it a little tricky on your knife. But they're awesome to eat raw. They're super crunchy and delicious. And of course, if you saute these, maybe you made a pizza the other night and you have some left over. Lucky you. Once you've gotten these little bell peppers diced up, beautiful. You can absolutely dice up the top and the tail that we chopped off too. I'm gonna save that for a little garnish later. Et voila. I got a little carried away and I definitely have more than 2 cups of veggies here. So as we create this, just know that I've got a little extra going on up in here. The first thing we're gonna do to build our Buddha bowl now is to gather those grains. So if you have a grain ready, or even something like rice cauliflower, that's perfect. And the cool part about the Buddha bowl, not only does it kind of clean out your pantry, but things like those raw riced veggies, you can eat either raw or cooked. So it saves you some time in the kitchen. Now I've got my little bowl ready to go. We're gonna use 1 cup of my quinoa here. I like using quinoa because it's such a cool power food. So much protein and really amazing vitamins and minerals. That's gonna be our base. So I tuck that down inside my little bowl. I am gonna give it a small pinch of salt. Seasoning's so important. Wakes up your taste buds. Really helps us enjoy our food a little bit. Salt's an amazing wonder. Now we've got our 1 cup of grains. The next thing that's gonna go on top is gonna be those veggies. Again, roughly 2 cups, like 2 handfuls. You can give them a stir, give them a toss. And then on top of that is gonna go our protein. So again, I'm using raw veggies, maintaining a lot of the nutrient-rich density, but of course you don't have to. You totally pop these veggies into the oven, give them a roast, 15 minutes, and you're gonna have gorgeous golden brown color. Now let's grab our protein. Whatever you're using is perfect, but I'm gonna be using roasted chicken. If you wanna share in the chat box some of the substitutions you're making, I'd love to know what you're cooking up at home. It always makes me excited when people get creative in the kitchen. Makes me feel like we're making a difference. That's awesome. Now I've got my chicken breast. Let me show you how I would slice this if you were using one at home. I turn it on an angle almost at 11 o'clock, and then I slice long wedges. And that way I can shingle my chicken breast and make it look really beautiful. I always say we eat with our eyes first, right? Cooking is all about using all 5 senses because we eat with all 5 senses. So when we can make our food look really beautiful, it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable. I really think we earned that after the past 2 months. Okay. I'm looking fabulous so far. I hope you guys are loving this. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is make a little sauce. Make it look pretty. The sauce we're gonna create right now is gonna be a yogurt-based sauce. You could absolutely use a plant-based yogurt if you wanted to, or just a little wedge of lemon or a little tablespoon of vinegar and a couple tablespoons of olive oil. That's a perfect dressing in my book. I'm gonna start with my yogurt though. I've got 1/2 cup of yogurt. Greek yogurt or regular yogurt is fine, whatever you wanna use. Greek yogurt is just gonna be a little thicker, so you might wanna thin it out. I'm gonna add this into my bowl here. I'm gonna start making a dressing in a separate bowl. Again, 1/2 cup of yogurt first. And then grab whatever citrus you have left over. Maybe you had a little party and you got some lemons or limes hanging around the house. What I like to do whenever I'm using a citrus fruit is grab the zest first before you cut it. It makes it easier to pull the zest off. The reason I like to use the zest is because I don't like wasting anything. And the oils from the citrus are all contained in that outside skin. So if you can amp up the flavor in any way, this way is one of them. And I know Monj is super duper known for adding flavor in any way possible. We like to really jazz it up, you know? If you're cooking it for yourself at home, it's always fun to amp up the flavor. So as I'm zesting the lemon, I'm pulling my zester towards me. I want to just go over this really quickly. If you have a microplane at home, it'll work the same way, but you hold it kind of like a cup so that it can catch all of that zest as you're going along. And that way you avoid getting any of that white pith, that sort of bitter bit that's on the inside. The fruit kind of talks to you. Whatever's pretty, that's what we're going to use. So add that right into your bowl. We've got our zest. Now we can use the juice. Give it a little roll around to loosen some of the membranes. That'll help get more juice out for you. More bang for your buck. Now we're gonna juice. I can use my hands for this part, but if you want, you could use a fork or tongs to get that out if you don't have a juicer. And then I throw these in a pitcher of water, and then I have lemon water for the rest of the day. I just don't like wasting. Okay, you guys, we're almost home here. This dressing's nearly finished. Now, whatever you don't use on your Buddha bowl today, make sure to save. This is a perfect accompaniment to any salad, any sandwich you put this on. Even fajitas or tacos is really, really yummy. All right, so we've got our half cup of yogurt, roughly 2 to 3 tablespoons of a citrus juice. And now I'm gonna add a nice 5-finger pinch of salt. You can give that a little whisk, a little stir. We only have one more ingredient left to put that in. So you'll notice that your dressing is going to start thinning out a little bit, which is exactly what you want in this sauce. You want to thin it out so you have the option to drizzle here, okay? If you need it to be a little bit thinner, feel free to use a little bit more of that citrus juice or even just a little bit of water. I'm going to set this aside for a moment and grab our fresh herbs that are going to go into this dressing. You only really need about 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to pull about a quarter of a bunch here. I'm going to use parsley today, just because I love the fresh flavor. It gives it sort of nice with my summer veggies I put in there. When you're mincing up a fresh herb like this, I'm going to show you a trick for taking it apart. Now, if you're using mint or basil or even chives would be awesome. Those all sound perfect. When you're using anything that has a long kind of brittle stem like this, a fun way that you can take apart a bunch of parsley without wasting too much time is to gather all of them together like they're a little bouquet, and then you tighten them kind of around themselves. Give it a tiny little twist. Hold on to the leaves or the stalks as if you were holding on to a bouquet, but pointing it down towards your board. We're going to use the middle half of our knife just to gently shave. I'll give it a haircut. Just going to gently shave the whole way around so that you can contain the stems in the center and the leaves will fall gently away. Usually the more tender stems are the ones that are going to release really easily for you. Now don't throw these away. You know I have a trick. We can add this to any broth you're making. If you're making a stock at home, all you have to do is save up some of those veggie bits, onions, celery, carrots, throw in those celery stalks, and they make such a beautiful, rich flavor. I'm going to save those here too. Now for our herbs, whatever herbs you have, we're gonna chop them up in what's called a chiffonade or a thin ribbon. A way you can do that is bundling them tightly together. If you're using something like mint or basil, you would just stack them in a little playing deck, and then you would slice right down the line. In a similar way, what we're gonna do is bundle our parsley together and then very carefully shave nice thin pieces. Beautiful. I love the smell of parsley. It is so nice. Now again, you only really need about 2 tablespoons of an herb, so you don't have to chop up too much. Again, I've been a little eccentric. I have a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. I'm going to chop these up very quickly. Now, I want to remind you, if you're not using too sharp of a knife, you kind of run the risk of browning your herbs. So you don't want to run your knife over the herbs too much. What will happen is they'll oxidize and they'll start turning a little bit brown or even black. So try your best to get them as thin as possible on that first go. That keeps your fresh herbs looking gorgeous. This sauce will keep in your fridge for a couple of days, so feel free to use it on, again, whatever you like. We're going to use it as our beautiful accoutrement for our Buddha bowl today. I hope you guys have a kitchen that smells as good as mine right now. So good. Okay, now I'm going to clear out my station just a little bit so I can show you the final pièce de résistance for our Buddha bowl. Amazing. Now I'm going to grab that Buddha bowl, drizzle this sauce right on top. 2 to 3 tablespoons is great, but you are the chef today, so you choose your own adventure. However you want to dress this is your choice. I'm going to give that a nice little dollop right on top. One more for good luck. Saucy Fridays. Now I'm going to add a little bit of an extra oomph by putting some more flavor on top of this. If you have some leftover kimchi or pickles in your fridge, anything that you've got that is a probiotic booster is amazing. You might even use kefir in that yogurt sauce we just made. But I always encourage people, whenever possible, add something fermented. That's going to help boost that good gut health, and it's really phenomenal flavor. I make my own sauerkraut. It's just cabbage and salt. I'm going to add that right on top, give it a little color, a little love, a little crunch. Now extra crunchies, because that wasn't enough. I'm going to throw on some sunflower seeds. Whatever nut you have in house is great. You could use sesame seeds or almonds. You could use chia seeds even. That would be perfect. But just that quickly, you guys. We have a bountiful feast ahead of us here. I hope you guys enjoyed cooking along with me today. Amanda, did we have any fun substitutions?
Oh my goodness, yes. Everything from meatless meatballs to steak, and I think we even had someone use brats, some leftover brats.
Oh my gosh, sauerkraut, that would be so delicious.
Yes, and of course the rainbow in veggies, celery, scallions, yellow squash, more squash. So, and Mediterranean couscous as a grain base. Travis decided to give that a try.
You guys, it never ceases to amaze me how creative people can be in the kitchen.
Yeah, parsnips, fried kale and ghee, dill. We have some creative chefs joining us today. I love it.
Kale. Okay, well now I feel one-upped. I'm going to use a little bit of kale. I'm going to put it right on top. Awesome, you guys. So here's the deal. Today you guys invested some really important time in yourself, and I think you should be congratulated for that. Thank you so much for doing well for your body today and really taking the time out of your day to make something hearty and healthy. It's one of my favorite things to eat, both healthfully and deliciously. I wouldn't touch it if it wasn't awesome. So thank you so much for joining me today to make some magic in the kitchen with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have an awesome weekend. Amanda has so much more to share with you, so don't go away. And thank you again for being in my kitchen with me.
Chef Eliza, thank you so much. That Buddha bowl looks scrumptious, and I love all the variations and customizations the people joining us today have made. They keep rolling in deviled eggs as protein and cauliflower rice as a base. And in fact, she says that she was glad she was able to use it because it was about to go bad, and that's what this is all about, making delicious food that feels good and is also super easy. So it is time to move on to the second part of our talk, and I'm going to invite Michelle Jader, head of product here at Monj, to join me.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Eliza, for sharing all of those helpful tips and getting some delicious food in all of our bellies. I'm happy to be with all of you today and share MonjWell. So let's dive in and learn a bit about the program that's being offered to you today through Blue Shield California and Wellvolution. Let me start by asking you a question. Have you noticed that your weight has been slowly creeping up over the years? Or maybe the pounds have been adding up over the past few months while we've all been sheltering in place? If that sounds familiar and you love delicious food, stick around for the next 15 minutes while we share a little bit about MonjWell, a weight loss program for people like you or a loved one covered under your Blue Shield California plan who might be looking to lose 15 pounds or more.
Yeah, we do call it a weight loss program, but it's really so much more, don't you think, Michelle?
Absolutely. Well, most people join the program to lose weight. They end up loving the Monj life. They feel better, they have more energy, sleep better, move more freely, and most of all, they're just happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? As head coach at Monj, I do find that most people are looking to lose quite a bit of weight, but they haven't gained it all at once. Maybe it's just a pound or two a year. And while that doesn't seem like a lot or isn't alarming, at some point they just notice that extra 20 pounds doesn't feel good. And it's starting to limit the things they love doing, like running with kids.
Yeah, and most of you probably have tried a diet or two in the past, and you may have even lost some weight. But research shows that the weight we gain slowly, is difficult to keep off. But here at Monj, our chefs, registered dietitians, psychologists have created a fresh approach to losing weight and keeping it off, all by trying new things and make you feel great.
That does sound great, Michelle. I'm sure everyone wants to hear more, but can we talk about what makes MonjWell different from some of the other weight loss programs that people may have tried?
Sure. MonjWell is different than other programs because we are not going to tell you that you have bad habits. We're not going to give you a crazy workout regimen or even have you count calories. And let's face it, counting calories can be annoying and it takes up time you could be doing something fun.
Yeah, I can think of a lot more fun things to do than count calories. So we're also not going to boss you around and tell you what you should and should not do. Instead, Monj helps you find more foods you'll love that are filling and taste delicious. Explore ways to get moving that you look forward to, and even new ways to think that can make you feel more positive and happy.
Yeah, our approach to losing weight and keeping it off is our try new things method that helps you find the things that make you happy. Once you've discovered or maybe even rediscovered those things, you'll start to make little shifts here and there. And you'll find that little by little, they become part of your life.
Mm-hmm. It might be as simple as learning to use a flavor booster like fresh squeezed lemon, or make a sauce that lights up your taste buds like the one we just made for the Buddha bowl. You'll want to have it again and again.
And the more you add those little shifts here and there, the more they become second nature. You'll start having more joy in your life. Those little shifts will start to go on autopilot. And of course, you'll start losing weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be wondering if MonjWell is right for you. Do you have 15 or more pounds that you would like to lose? Would you like the help of an expert health coach? Are you game to get your body moving and discovering some delicious foods? And if you have type 2 diabetes, that's okay. Monj is for you as well.
Now that we've shared what's different about MonjWell, let's take a look at what you'll get when you sign up through Well Evolution. You'll have a personal coach, group support, our delicious feel-good food program, the It All Counts movement plan, and the app to guide you along the way. And members have been successful. 80% of people that have started, they lose an average of 24 pounds and stick with it.
Mm-hmm. To kick things off, you start by meeting your health coach. Your coach will get to know you, your goals, your strengths, and uncover what's most important to you. They'll dig a little deeper and understand how you want to feel and what you want to be able to do.
Yeah, that's because research shows that people are 40% more likely to stick with something if they have a clear idea of where they're headed and keep that in mind along the way.
Mm-hmm. Monj does take commitment, and we know that members that are most engaged have the most success. Sometimes it's not easy. Motivation ebbs and flows. That's natural. But your coach will support you along the way and guide you to lean on your strengths to overcome obstacles. You'll have one-to-one meetings, and Monj coaches love to hear from members. So feel free to send your coach all those delicious food pictures or messages anytime you'd like.
Yeah, and multiple studies have found that having the support of others is crucial for both immediate and long-term weight loss. With MonjWell, you can connect with other members in live weekly meetups where we tackle timely topics, we celebrate successes, share what's working, and ask for advice from one another.
Just last week, our members were swapping tips on ways they were customizing one of the Monj blueprints, like the Buddha bowl you just made, by adding new ingredients and spices. Speaking of food, let's talk about it. To get you off to a great start, MonjWell gives you a 4-week plan to create delicious, chef-inspired, and nutritionist-approved meals. It's designed to kick your weight loss into high gear and get you on the path to feeling your best. Each day, you'll eat a combination of 5 delicious and customizable snacks and meals like the Buddha bowl we just made.
Yeah, and if it sounds like there might be some cooking involved, you're right. Whether you're a novice or experienced cook, you'll be upping your kitchen game with guided meal prep, flavor experiments, knife skills, and guided cook-alongs like the one we just did today. There are loads of skill building and how-to videos you can easily access right from the MonjWell app. Throughout the program, you'll have access to the app. This is where you'll be able to track your progress, connect with your coach, share your successes with your teammates, and discover some tasty ways to cook food at home or order Monj meals at your favorite restaurants. And the free digital scale you get by enrolling through Wellvolution makes it easy to share your weight loss progress with your coach because it syncs directly to your app.
Food and learning lessons are delivered weekly to the app. Lessons cover everything from movement to cultivating a positive mindset and so much more. They're packed with useful information to provide loads of inspiration and guidance to help you reach your goals. Every lesson gives you a new topic to help you reflect on things that are working for you and tweak the things you may want to update. You'll also get plenty of strategies that you can try to help to reach your goals.
Yeah, and at the end of each lesson, you get a fun learn by doing mission that you can personalize in a way that works best for you. Missions are small, simple steps you take during the week designed to help you try new things and incorporate more of what you love into your life. By the time that you've completed all of the lessons, the missions you've accomplished will become part of your everyday life, creating healthy habits that you truly enjoy.
Everyone knows that moving your body is good for you, but not only that, it gives you the strength to do what you want to do. We mentioned before that we're not going to have you do any crazy workouts with MonjWell, but we are going to encourage you to get moving in a way that you look forward to each and every day. Together with your coach, you'll make a plan that works for you. You will use the "it all counts" method to feel great about any effort you make to get moving, whether it's walking the dog, gardening, washing the car, playing with kids, or even taking a workout class. You'll find ways to move that make you feel confident and leave you craving more.
Yes, and when you're ready, you'll have access to OpenFit, where you'll have free live and on-demand workout classes from 5 to 45 minutes long. No matter what your fitness level, there's really something for everyone. You could try a simple yoga class, take a virtual walk with a group of people from around the country, or try your hand at kickboxing. And the live classes are great because each class has a personal trainer there to guide you through the workout, whether you choose to turn on your video or not. There are over 50 live classes a day, plus pre-recorded on-demand classes that you can access 24/7.
Michelle, the Pilates and bar classes on OpenFit are a personal favorite of mine.
I know, and I love those walking classes myself. They're so much fun seeing photos of people from around the country.
Yeah, you know, MonjWell has helped many people lose weight and keep it off. And as head coach, I have seen how this program can change lives. I'd like to share a quick story about one of the members that I coached through their MonjWell journey. Lisa came to us wanting to lose 40 pounds and just feel better. Throughout our time together, she was open to try new things. She dug into every in-app lesson, and she openly communicated with me, even when things got a little tough. She made changes over a period of about 5 months and even found her way back to roller skating, which she now does whenever she can with her friends. Along with her determination, she reached her goal and lost 40 pounds.
It's such a great story. And while not everyone is going to strap on roller skates, we have seen a lot of great results with MonjWell. Members tell us that they have more energy, they're happier, and they're losing weight. So we're coming to the end of our time together, and Amanda and I have shared with you an overview of MonjWell. If everything sounds good to you, let me tell you about how you can find out if you're eligible to join MonjWell and signed up through Wellvolution. Wellvolution is Blue Shield of California's digital platform. On it, you can find a variety of programs designed to keep you healthy. MonjWell is one of those programs, but if you'd like to see what else is available to you, you can check them out at www.wellvolution.com.
Yeah, you can even sign up directly with MonjWell by going to wellvolution.com/MonjWell. You'll be asked a few questions, and as long as you don't have certain health risks and have a BMI over 27, it's likely you will be eligible. But again, there are other well-being apps to choose from in wellvolution.com. So take a look. If MonjWell isn't a match, you'll have some other options available to you. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you had a great Buddha Bowl lunch.